Okay, so we are playing Russian women at war, and in particular, the Night Witches, the 588th Air Regiment, responsible for piloting the PO2 fighter bombers. Although they're actually biplanes, so they're not fighters anymore. You have been recruited into the 588th, and because we're doing the one-shot rules, you've actually been in the 588th for some time. So you're not brand new pilots, you actually get advancements. So character creation is really simple in PBTA. In effect, what we do is we choose whether you want to be a sergeant or a junior lieutenant as a starting rank. We choose what type of persona you're going to be taking on board. So whether you're a sparrow, a raven, an owl, a pigeon, or a hawk. And then we choose what role you're fulfilling in the unit for the post that you're in, because you can change roles when you move posts. So you can decide that you're no longer an adventurer, you're now going to be a dreamer or a misanthrope, or so forth and so on. There's no obligation for there to be an even spread. And you pretty much just need to be thinking a little bit about yourself as you go forward. Now, we've all got the handouts from BullyPulpit Games. So I've got those up here. So like I said, you've got the sparrow, you've got the hawk, you've got the owl, you've got the pigeon, you've got the raven, and that's it. So what you do is the first thing you do is you choose what archetype or role persona you're going to take on board. So sparrows are actually, there's really good descriptions in short form here. So let me just get them out and I will read them out. Okay, so the hawk. Hawks are decisive and tough, simultaneously showy and precise in their actions. They are also obsessive hunters who strike without warning. Owls are quiet and observant. Owls are amongst the most contemplative of birds. Unlike hawks, they are happy to watch and wait. Owls are solitary predators who feast on the bones of the weak. Pigeons are gregarious and not afraid to get their feathers dirty, resourceful and down to earth. They are also vaguely ridiculous and most comfortable in a crowd. Ravens are intelligent, curious, acquisitive, and confident. Unlike sparrows, they aren't afraid to make a scene. They are also carrion birds with a stubborn disregard for propriety. And finally, sparrows are graceful, unobtrusive, and discreet. Sparrows tend to be everywhere or nowhere. They are also timid, nervous, and prone to flying away at the first sign of trouble. So your first question is, have you guys given any thought to what nature you want to take on board? And if so, what natures do you want to take on board? And
I want to be a raven.
right, straight out of the bat.
Actually,
Okay,
raven was the one I was thinking of as well.
Me too. So
okay, we do need a little bit of diversity when I say this, okay.
Yeah.
I got tips.
3 ravens.
All right.
That could be it. Only because it limits what you could, like it reduces your
ability. Yeah.
But if you want to play ravens, I don't mind because it's a one shot. So no harm, no foul.
Well, what was the owl again?
Quiet and observant. Owls are amongst the most contemplative of birds. Unlike hawks, they're happy to watch and wait. Owls are solitary predators who feast on the bones of the weak.
Sounds like fun. I'll be an owl.
Okay. So we've got 1 owl and we have 1 raven. Jason, did you want to still be a raven?
I do kind of want to still be a raven.
Then be a raven, Jason.
I'm going to be a raven.
Own it, Jason.
I'm going to be a raven.
All right, so it's an owl and 2 ravens.
Walk into a bar.
So one thing to point out is none of you are highly aggressive. Anyway, funny story. Okay, so the first thing you need to decide on, now that you've decided that you are owls and ravens, is what rank do you want to start with? Now you can increase your rank through move. We'll get a chance to increase our ranks because we're doing the one shot. But You either start as a sergeant. Only one of you can be the junior lieutenant because the junior lieutenant is in charge of the unit. So a flight is made up of 3 planes with navigators and pilots. So you'll have NPCs filling some of those roles. But what rank? Who wants to be in charge is almost the question.
Jason wants to be in charge because
Yeah.
Jason's played before.
Sure, I'll be the junior lieutenant.
Yep, Jason's deep expertise based on one game will
Yeah.
serve them in good stead.
Zero.
I've also got more experience with the PBTA than
That's
anyone
true.
here, actually.
Yeah, you've got
Yeah.
yeah, that is true. You
Yeah.
actually do have way more experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means the other 2 of you are sergeants,
Mhm.
which means you are not in charge of the unit. So the other thing you can decide is what role you want to play in the unit. So they are the social obligations that your airwomen naturally fall into as part of the group. They're a combination of nature and role that gives you a clear identity and purpose in the story. In contrast to your natures, which never change, your role may shift over the course of the game. Right, so you've got adventurers. Adventurers live to fly. They aren't behind the yoke and throttle of an airplane. They're thinking about how to get behind the yoke and throttle of an airplane. Play an adventure if you're born to fly and aren't afraid of anything. Dreamers. In addition to the nightly clouds over the German targets, dreamers have their heads in the Dreamers have their heads in the clouds of their own making. Sometimes those dreams come in handy, though. Sometimes they come true. Play a dreamer if things other than the here and now distract you and you don't care if this gets you into trouble. Leaders. Leaders are born to lead and assume command naturally. Whether they've been assigned to or not, leaders often end up in charge of a squadron or sections or serve the regiment as general officers. Being selected to lead others is a serious honor most leaders covet. For more in being in command, see rank. Okay. Misanthrope. Misanthropes are a refreshing tonic from the hidebound madness of the Russian Army Air Force. Cynical, iconoclastic, and against the grain, they always know the better way, although they may not care enough to try it. Play a misanthrope if you know it all and don't care if your hands get dirty. And finally, oh no, there's 2 more. That's right, because it's the zealot. How could I forget the zealot? Protectors have a fierce loyalty to their sisters in arms and are driven to apply their skills and courage in the service of something bigger than themselves. For them, the war is personal. Play a protector if you'd rather take a bullet yourself than see a comrade hurt. And finally, the zealot. Zealots understand their real mission is to help develop the political consciousness across the regiment, while diligently rooting out intrigues by reactionaries and wreckers, knowing that the unity of all the forces of democracy is the most reliable weapon in the struggle against reaction and in the struggle for freedom and peace throughout the world. Play a zealot if you're content with being hated and feared in order to do the right thing. So you'll see that if you guys have got the PDFs that I sent through?
Yeah, I'm just
I've
opening it
got
up again.
the rules, but I couldn't open up the zip file because it needs your permissions. I don't know if there's something else in there other than the rules.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So, what can I do about that? I'll just stop the sharing for 1 second. Actually, can I pause the share? Okay. So tell me, did you guys just see my screen change?
Nope.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's a cute feature. I've never tried that before. Now I have editable versions of the character sheets. So just give me 1 second and I will, wrong download file. Here they are. Okay, so I'll just ping them to you in Discord. So Jess, you are playing a Raven.
Raven, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just go straight up into this. Oh, by the way, just while I remember, did you read my direct message to you, Jess?
No.
You should read that message.
I should read that.
Okay. God, you'd think this would be easy to find. Yep, there we go. Okay.
How do I do that?
Dun, 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 dun. Cool.
Oh. All right.
Anyway, question for another day.
Yep. Which channel are you sending it through?
Literally
Good.
just your personal one. Sorry.
Okay.
I just had to.
Go back
I
to where
just
it
had
was
to
then.
I just had to unzip it because I realized I was about to send it to you zipped, and I thought, oh, that probably won't actually help. So you're playing an owl. Upload done. And Jason, you are playing another Raven.
Yes. I have all the sheets already.
Do you have the editable ones?
Yep.
Okay, great. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, because you're in the other group. All right, so you guys should now have all of that.
Cool.
Does that tell me when you get it open?
Yep, it's open again.
Okay, so you should be able to tick the little boxes like the check boxes and other things. You'll be able to either type in ranks or maybe even select ranks. It's all set up to go. It's actually quite cool. The guy who put it together did a really good job.
Oh, yeah.
So
How's that?
yeah. So if I get up the Raven now, and I go no. Page. Yeah, so you've got editable sheets now, so you can type in your rank. You can type in a name. Please
I'm going to
choose a
take the
name.
first one.
Okay, so you're
Valentina. I'm going to be
Melon
Valentina.
of Skya.
Melon.
Of Skya. Melon of Skya.
Mine's on Zoom already. I'm Ludmilla.
Ludmilla.
Ludmilla
Berezovskaya.
Berezovskaya.
Berezovskaya. And obviously Rob. So then the next thing you get to choose. So having chose, so we were choosing roles. Sorry, we got distracted. So what roles do you want to take, people?
Well,
I
I would like to...
misanthrope.
Oh yeah, Al's gonna be the misanthrope. Nice.
Yeah.
I think I might be an adventurer.
Yeah. Cool. And then I think I'm gonna go for a protector.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I think the roles are different. They give you different benefits depending on what nature you have. Does that sound right, or is that wrong?
No, I think
No,
that's
it's the same, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
right. So if you're
Yeah,
a
it's the
misanthrope,
moves that are different.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just double check that. Yeah, it is true. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so now if you have taken a sergeant, you can take so PBTA rolls 2d6. The sort of minimum success number is a 7. A good success is a 10. And a fail is a 6 or less. So whenever you're asked to make a roll, it will usually be against a skill, although eventually you'll get medals and they add. And there are a couple of rolls you make where you have no benefit, so they're just straight rolls. So what you do is you spread your skill points, of which you have very few, as you can see, if you have a look in the stats block. So as a sergeant, your maximum bonus is equal to +1. And if you're a junior lieutenant, your maximum bonus is equal to +0. You don't put anything in medals at this point, although you will probably have medals by the time we start playing. You just put those skill points into those 3 skills of skill, guts, and luck. So just a really quick overview. So skill represents how skilled you are. Guts represents how brave you are, and luck represents how lucky you are. So when you're doing an attack run, you'll use a combination of guts and skills as an example, because guts is about, bravely flying in. Skill is about navigating your way there. And luck is about avoiding the flak fire, because you have no control over the flak fire. It's just plain luck as to whether it hits you or not, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, it's all a bit of a muchness. I will say in the other group that I'm GMing, everyone has gone in heavy for luck. But that's because we're starting players and a lot of people are counting on their luck to get them out of it alive. Based on the evidence to date, it's not working so
It's
well.
not working. On our first training flight simulation, 2 planes were destroyed.
I'm going for guts.
One because
I've got
someone
guts.
moved the complication onto my plane.
Yeah, that was me. That was me, and we got out of it completely fine.
Yeah, I was doing.
That's
And
what
that was the
matters.
plane with 2 lucky people on it. We're the only people who survived.
Yeah, your plane landed perfectly, as I recall.
Yeah.
All right, so just apportion your points. So +1, +0, +0, or +2, +0, -1 if you're a sergeant. +1, +0, -1 if you're a junior lieutenant, or just straight up +0s to everything. Don't get too stressed about it, because we're doing the one shot. You'll get advances. Okay, just tell me when you're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yep.
I do like just using the PDF to like note things in and
Yeah.
highlight stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, this one, yep.
Yeah, so in the closest to, so Things from the Flood is very close to being a child of PBTA.
Yeah.
Because you really do have playbooks that are very similar. So you have a sort of archetype kind of playbook that's very derived, and it does a very similar sort of vibe to it. So yeah, it's a close cousin to PBTA. Okay, so if you've done that very complex math of spreading those 3 points around, so then you go through a bit of a, so who is Ludmilla Berevskaya?
Who is Ludmilla Berevskaya? Ludmilla Berevskaya is a not as young as a number of other women who are here. She's a bit older. She's come here from a rural, I don't know, anywhere in Russia. Where am I?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, actually, let's see. Oh, you know what? She's from Siberia.
Nah, everyone comes from Siberia.
I'm
Big
from
Australia.
Moscow.
Yeah.
Moskva. Good choice. I support.
Nice.
I endorse people who come from Moscow.
Yeah.
All right. So she's older and she's from Moskva.
No, Chelyabinsk.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, you're the.
Yep.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
And what about you, Rob? What is your character's name?
What is my character's name? Nika something or other. Let's see. Nika. I'll work out the second name. Yeah.
Okay. You
What the
can
hell?
speak-
Nika Tolstoy, what the hell?
Why not?
It could only end well. Better than Trotsky.
That won't be
Yes,
hard.
I come from Novgorod,
Oh, okay.
the seaport, etc.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to do something for my country.
Okay. So Novgorod has assumably fallen to the Germans. I should actually know the answer to that question. But anyway, because it's
It's-
pretty far west.
Well, it's their western port.
Yeah. So we'll assume that
It is a big
currently,
target. Yeah.
currently controlled by the evil German Empire. Okay.
Yeah.
And they are evil as hell in this game. Okay, so we have chosen our roles. So just go through and, conceptually decide. So uniform, what sort of uniform are you wearing? How do you wear it, rather, is probably the better answer. What sort of body shape you have? How do you look? What's your face like? There are a bunch of towns provided for you. And I guess the question for all of you, which is, who do you write back to when you write back home? Ludmilla, who do you write back to?
I write back to my daughter Masha.
Okay. And Valentina, who do you write back to?
Mother and father.
Okay. And Nick, what was your name again?
Nika.
Rob? Nika. Nika, who do you write back to?
To my mother.
Okay. All right. So a couple of other questions, and I'll fire them off in sort of random order. So, Nika, what did the Soviet state take from you?
My father. Well, he was a soldier.
Right. And was he actually executed by Stalin, or did he die, or has he disappeared in the war?
He's disappeared in the war.
All right. Valentina. Whose picture is taped to your plane's dash?
My
Stalin.
best friend.
What's that?
My best friend.
Your best friend. Okay. Ludmilla,
Yes.
what would you be doing if they didn't let you fly?
If they didn't let me fly, I would be working as an engineer.
Okay. And then Ludmilla, in what ways do you dress or look like a man?
I'm quite stocky and muscular. I've got quite an androgynous build.
Okay.
Yep.
Valentina. What does the Marxist-Leninist struggle against the forces of reaction mean to you personally?
Oh.
It can mean nothing, by the way. That is an option, just to make that point.
Yeah, there's the front that I will put on.
Yep.
Which is all for it. But deep down, yeah, I'm very angry about it, against it.
And Nika, who do you know in the 4th Army Air Logistics and Supply Commissariat, and what favor do you owe them?
I know a quartermaster, and I owe them a favor. Well, yes. What favor? I think I owe them for being caught trying to get an engine part for one of the SO2s.
Okay.
He hasn't called in the favor, but it's hanging there.
It's an open chit, as it were.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just keep those in mind because, you might need them at some point. Hey, Rob, can you do me a favor? Can you change your name? Because I'm
Yeah,
not going to remember
why?
your character's name.
Do you want one off the list so it's easy for you to
No,
look
no.
at?
I just want you to put it on your little video so that I don't have to
Oh, okay.
remember it.
You want me to label my name rather
Yes.
than change it?
Yeah, you just put your name on your
Yeah,
video
I
feed.
understand what you mean now. But
Excellent.
there's changing the name and then there's changing the label.
Okay. Just change the label. Thank you for that.
No
All right.
worries. I've had to
Like
do it
this.
all week.
I love a bit of precision. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is, because you've already been in the war for some time, you get to do. I had it open and now it's gone. One shot. You mark 7 marks and then 6 advances. Okay, so what you do, go to the second part of your sheet. So page 2, if I could invite you.
Ooh.
So as you can see, you've got marks down a flowing down the side, and then you have advancements just beside it. So what you do is, first of all, just choose 7 marks. Now, an important point is when you fill in all your marks, and by the way, please do not fill in the last one.
Yeah. Just die in the character creation process.
Yeah. Very Traveller. So yeah, just don't do that. But as you pick them, think a little bit about the why of that thing, right? So what has happened to cause it? So now once you've chosen your 7 marks, then go across and have a read about advancements. You can tick off up to 6 advancements, and they each give you a bit of a different thing. So just to quickly go through it, deepening ties adds a regard slot. So you can have regard for anything. You can have regard for your plane. You can have regard for the enemy. You can have regard for other people. Whenever you're in a situation where it's relevant, that regard will give you a +1 bonus to your dice roll. And considering the mechanics, that +1 is a big deal. You don't have to have regard in a positive way. So you can hate someone. That's a completely legitimate form of regard. For instance, you can hate the Germans, unsurprisingly. So that's how regard works. You can increase in rank. And when you do so, you can also raise your skill, guts, or luck by 1. So up to 3. You can choose medals, and if you choose medals, then you get a medal stat. And medal stats allow you to basically bluster or bluff your way through things by pointing at all the shiny bits on your lapel, right, on your chest. So it's the sort of, how dare you say that to a recipient of the Order of the Defense of the Caucasus, or to the Medal of Valor, or the Order of the Red Star, right? So it's like you're pointing at the medal and poking at people at the same time. You can take a harsh lesson, which all it does is allows you to select a new move. So you've got standard moves, which are things related to either navigating, piloting, bombing, or landing, and a bunch of standard moves in relation to the day activities. So we haven't really talked about day and night, but day is stuff you do in your downtime, like fix your planes, scrounge around for equipment, avoid NKVD interrogation, receive NKVD interrogation, make alliances with other people, do various other things, have illicit love affairs, all of that sort of stuff. That's the day. And the night is the piloting. But in addition to that, you'll see that you've got a series of advanced moves that are only available to your playbook. The moves are unique. So if you're an owl, you get a different list of moves to a raven. Then finally, you've got moving west. So once you can choose to move west, which means you can force a change in the post. There are 6 posts. We're at post 3 for this game. Please do not choose moving west. The big thing about moving west is when you select it, you're volunteering to GM, which I particularly like as a move, as an advancement. So when you want to advance and be the GM, that's how you do it. So maybe easiest way to do this is to just go top to bottom. So Ludmilla, what advancements? Well, what marks have you chosen?
I suffered the death of a friend or lover.
Yep.
So my husband has died.
Okay.
He was a soldier as well.
Yep.
I have what else do I have? I have telling a story of home. I've shared a bit of my past with my flight.
Yep, with your compatriots.
With my compatriots.
So what particularly have you told them?
I have told them about my family's struggles, as I mean, we are red Russians, not white Russians. And we suffered a lot, my family, before the Marxist-Leninist takeover.
Right. So you're very pro the
Very
communist
pro
state?
the new state, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep. I have, let's see, what else do I have? I've acted against my best interests.
Okay.
Yep. So I have put myself in harm's way for the sake of others.
Yep.
I have advanced and grown by being here a while. I have ignored a problem until it overwhelms. So
Now,
Yep.
advance and grow as a mark, by the way, gives you an extra advance.
Yep.
So it's the only time you can get that.
Yes. Yeah. And what else have I got? I've got tell the unvarnished truth. So I have been very straightforward and honest with my compatriots.
Yep.
Maybe a bit too honest. We'll see. What's the last one? Tell a war story. I've got ticked.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what advancements are you taking?
That's a good question. So I am taking some added responsibility.
Okay. How
So
many
that
of those are you
puts
taking?
I'm taking 2 of those, so I'll get to senior lieutenant.
Okay.
Yep. How many of these did we get again? Sorry, we got
6.
6. Yes, and now I've got 7 because I took
Correct.
that.
Yep.
So that's 2 of those. Right. I am taking deepening ties.
Okay.
Yep. So I am connected to I'm taking that one, and I'm going to say that I have regard for Valentina.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
In a positive way. I think that I respect her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 3.
That is 3. I have a medal, so I've got honor and pride.
Okay.
So that's the Medal of Valor.
Yep.
Yep.
Not the hero of the Soviet Union. Still a while off.
Yep.
Yep. But that does give you medal +1.
That does give me a medal +1. Yes.
Woo!
Yay!
And
I've
so
got
that's 4.
Yep, and then I'm taking some harsh lessons.
Okay. How many harsh
Yep.
lessons? Well,
I'm gonna take
3.
3. Yeah.
So you're going to unlock 3 moves.
Yep.
and you're a raven, so you can take To Hell with
Yes.
Death, Permanent File, Fortune's Fool, Voron, Sacrifice, or choose one move from another nature. But for now, let's just stay within the guardrails.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, you do that. Increase your metal skill by 1. Add those 3 stat points. 3 or 2? Hold on.
2.
2 stat points to your stats to increase 2 of your stats.
Yes.
Okay. Valentina, what marks have you taken?
So I've taken Suffer the Friend, Death of a Friend or Lover,
Yep.
and Witness the Death of a Comrade.
Okay.
So, you know, said that like I have a photo of my best friend on my plane.
Right. Yes.
That was, she died. She was piloting another plane.
Yep.
On a run that we were doing together, and I watched her get shot down.
Okay. So she has died piloting another PO2.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So that's 2.
2. Tell the unvarnished truth.
So at some point you've just said it like it is.
Blurted it out. Probably in the wake of her death, I was pretty unhappy.
Yep.
Claim something as your own. I'm not sure actually. I don't know. I'm going to not have that one. I'm going to take ignore a problem until it overwhelms. Yeah.
Okay. What problem are you ignoring that could potentially overwhelm you in the very near future?
Grief.
Grief. Okay. So basically, you're still suffering for the loss of your friend.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I took change posts for the wrong reasons. Yeah. So I as soon as she died, I changed posts like as soon as I could to run away from that place.
Yep.
How many of these do we get again of the marks?
7.
7.
Oh my God.
4, 5. Okay, tell a war story.
Okay.
Yeah. So I keep telling that story of that fateful run, which has really shaped.
So you're pretty much your really big problem actually is that you're beginning to be seen as a negative influence on the morale of the company.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
keep on talking about this terrible run where your friend died, and you know, like, you know, you're not talking about the glorious, you know, Russian army and its great victories against the Nazis. You're talking about your friend dying.
Yeah. I'm just trying to process like what's going on for me.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
And
are you
tell a story of home. That was my last one.
Okay. So you've got those all ticked up. That's awesome. And I like the developing narrative around the friend who died, and now you're basically crashing and burning publicly. That's all goodness. Do you want to go through your advancements? So you've got 6 advancements because you didn't take advance and grow as one of your marks.
No. So I took 2 deepening ties.
Yep.
So I was going to have regard for my plane.
Good choice.
And I was going to have a hatred for the Germans.
Okay.
Who shot my friend down.
So you particularly hate German anti-aircraft.
Yeah. German anti-aircraft.
Okay.
Cool. I took 1 added responsibility.
So you're now a junior lieutenant, not a sergeant anymore.
Okay, junior lieutenant. Took 1 honor and pride.
Okay, so you also have received the Medal of Valor.
Okay. 2 harsh lessons.
Okay. Yep.
That's it.
I think that should
that's
be
6.
it, shouldn't it? Yep, that is it. That's 6. So that allows you to tick 2 moves. You get +1 to a stat, and you also get medal +1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Nika, you were fair warned. So Nika, let's go through it, buddy.
All right. So I have witnessed the death of a comrade as well.
Okay.
What can I say? Shot down crashed somewhere in the woods. Don't know. I'm
Oh,
still working.
are they definitely dead or are they missing in action?
Well, I did see the plane explode on impact, that sort of thing.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm assuming they are dead.
Right.
Call dangerous attention to yourself.
Okay.
Spread a vicious rumor. And it's going to be about I mean, I'm actually tempted to tie it in with the death or the fault of this plane that crashed, taking my comrade with it.
So are you blaming the engineers?
What the hell? Yes. Well,
do you know what?
I know.
Do you know what I'm loving about this? I've just realized your marks are different to the other guys. So you've got your own marks.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So I'm spreading a rumor that the plane was not properly maintained.
Right.
Yes. Because light fire like that shouldn't have taken it down. It actually banked. It did a sharp bank to the left and nosedived. That's not normal in a plane.
I can't argue.
Reveal a secret. I don't know what secret it is though.
Okay.
Advance and grow. Tell a war story and tell a story from home.
Okay. So in effect, you hate the engineers and you're trying to, at least the engineering crew that were meant to keep that plane in the air.
Absolutely.
And you're going to use everything you've got to make them pay.
Yeah, it seems so.
Nice. I like it. Okay, so advancements. What advancements are you taking? Because you've got 7 because you took advance and grow.
Yeah. So I've actually put 2 on deepening ties, 2 on added responsibility, 1 on honor and pride because I think I'm a little bit down and dirty on things, and 2 on harsh lessons.
Okay, so you've all received the Medal of Battle Merit or whatever it's called.
Medal of Valor.
The Medal of Valor.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. And so that gives you +1 for medal, and you took 1 or 2 added responsibilities.
I took 2.
Okay. So you are now not a junior lieutenant. You're one above a junior lieutenant. You're a lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
A lieutenant. Okay.
Okay. And you get 2 skill points. 2 stat points to add to either skill, guts, or luck. You can only have a +3 in a stat, by the way.
Okay. Well, luck's been my primary one. I figured that the person with scrounge should have good luck.
Okay.
So my luck's actually now 3.
Moves, and
I've got to add regards. Yeah.
Oh, actually. Okay, so you're exceptionally lucky. And you took misanthrope, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So scrounging. Just double check what scrounging, because just before you, it's a move. So I'm just going to quickly check the moves.
Scrounge. Yes. Roll straight if going through channels, or roll luck if you aren't so good with paperwork.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. So fair enough. You're updating.
I'm not great with paperwork.
And you're taking it up now. Okay. So, and you didn't take any regards, did you, Rob?
I took 2.
Oh, you took 2
in deepening ties.
Deepening ties. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just working them out though.
Yep. No worries. All right. Well, what we might do is kind of get started. And I'm going to do something. So it's really fascinating. I've now sort of read the rules. I've watched a couple of other people play test it. Not play test it, run it through. I've run, obviously, the first startup myself. And I would say everyone gets it wrong by starting the game at night. Because you really need daytime before you do a night mission. Debate. Jason or Ludmilla, do you agree?
I agree completely.
Lived experience says.
Yeah. Oh God, please no. Oh God.
Okay, so here is your where you are. So you have moved west and south into the warm southern maritime region dominated by the Kerch Strait. Now you occasionally fly over water for the first time. The targets are heavily defended by anti-aircraft artillery, aided by spotlights and supplemented by the occasional fighter cover. The Germans are slowly learning how to defeat the PO2 using Focke-Wulf 109s at dusk and dawn. So a really cute thing about the PO2 is its maximum speed is below the stall speed of the German fighter.
Yeah.
So the German fighter can't actually stay behind you for long periods of time because it'll fall out of the sky. It's a real problem.
We can turn off our engines and glide. 'cause
Yeah,
it weighs nothing.
It's
Which is what you had to
fluid
do.
and oil, but your planes are covered in oil impregnated fabric.
Yeah, it's a canvas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they burst into flames at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, out of the 210 odd people who will end up being pilots and navigators of the 588, 38 will die as a result of their engagement in the war. So casualties will be greater than 10% of the total unit strength. However, actually, I was thinking about this the other day, though, but that's actually surprisingly low for the Russian army at the time. So, you know, on the whole, probably 2 thumbs up. You guys are all experienced pilots. That's probably the most important thing. You're not starting out with, you know, your base stats and no moves. You've got special moves. Pay attention to your moves. And in the zip folder, and I'm now conscious, I probably need to send it directly to you. Although, Rob, you could ping it up on, you could probably fling it across Discord as well. In the zip, and I'll just pause the share. In the zip, there is a sort of like an overview of is it the theater moves? Hold on, it might actually be. Oh no, that's not it. No, that's definitely not it. Okay, hold on. If you could just open up the zip that I sent you guys earlier, as in the handouts one from BullyPulpit Games. There should be. Here we go. I think it's literally the handouts one. Is it the handouts one? It is the handouts one. So if you could just go to the handouts.
Okay.
And I'll resume my share because I've now got it open myself. So there's a sheet called handouts. So here are your moves. You've got day moves and night moves. Okay. So day moves. You can size someone up by eyeballing them. You can act up to get your way. You can reach out to someone to help them get over harm, but also just to build a relationship with them. You can also use it to add one to the mission pool, so you can sort of leverage that. You can scrounge to get bonuses to mission pools. You can repair to fix your broken planes. You won't have to do that because we're starting afresh. You can tempt fate. So whenever you have nothing else, whenever there's a sort of, or you decide that you have nothing else, so you might actually want to do something that you're crap at and you go, I'm just going to tempt fate and try and balls it out. Then you have to roll a guts roll. You've got the briefing action, which is not a roll, but it's where the person in charge of the unit and myself talk about what mission you're going to take from the mission list. Then for the night runs, the first thing, and the most important thing the commander does is assign roles. So there's the attack run leader, there's the wayfinder, and then there's the Vetermeyer. So the Vetermeyer is like the wing person. So they're providing cover for the other two people. The wayfinder navigates you there. The attack run is the person who leads the first bombing component and sets up the bombing. Now, once again, if all else fails, you can tempt fate, which instead of being a guts roll like it is in during the day where you do that, it's a luck roll. Oh no, it's a gut roll. No, it's still guts. Right, okay. If things go wrong, and there's a lot of ways things can go wrong in this game, you can go under heavy fire, which means generally anti-aircraft fire. And wheels down, you only need to roll it when it's less than ideal circumstances. So if the airfield is crap, if it's pitch black and no one's lit anything, or if your plane is already damaged or someone on the plane has already suffered damage. So a lot of the time. And the
You're
way...
looking forward to that one, aren't you?
Oh, look, took out 2 planes last time.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about PBTA is it's what's called fiction first. So the idea behind PBTA is you describe what you want to do rather than worry about the move. And then we fill the space with the move. So we negotiate on what we think the move will be once you describe what you want to achieve. Okay. And so then obviously those are just the standard moves. And then you've all got moves that you've now unlocked for your specific character sheets. So for the Raven and the Owl, you've also got additional moves, which are only available to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the way we're going to do it is we basically move through the day, and your goal in moving through the day, to be direct, is to build up a bit of a mission pool to give you some bonuses to your dice roll when you're actually doing all the things that you do at night. The one problem with that is if you do too much of it, you start hurt because you're actually exhausted when you get into your airplane at night. So these are people flying on average 5 to 7 combat missions a night. You just fly, we just pick one in effect. We just pick the one and then play that out. But pilots were frequently flying 5 to 7 missions a night. It's really quite amazing. If you get a chance, I'll post up this documentary by this Swedish guy, a woman, I should say, which I found the links to. It's on YouTube. It's pretty fucking amazing. They were cool as fuck. Okay, so the first thing in the day is you are here at this new place. It's lovely. It's sunny. It's away from the cold. You're out of the winter. Russia's on the move. The Germans have been pushed back. The great sort of invasion by the German forces was cut in half by Operation Uranus, and Stalingrad has fallen. So Stalingrad is now completely under Russian control because the last fights in Stalingrad, even the last remnants, are sort of driven out in April. You guys are waking up in the morning. Oh, one thing, by the way, you do have 3 NPCs with you who I will need to come up with names for very quickly. So I will do that because they are the other people on your planes. Yeah. So each plane has both a navigator and a pilot. Mm. And the important thing is, once again, Ludmilla chooses who's the pilot and who's the navigator.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you put regard down against your plane, you have to give it a name.
Yeah. How do I get a good name for my plane?
Well, just give it an English name for now, and we'll worry about a Russian name later.
And say it with a Russian accent.
Yes.
Say it with a Russian accent.
Okay, yeah.
We'll do the Sean Connery style.
I tried to look it up, and I'm like, I don't know. What do the Russians call their planes?
They probably call them whatever they want. They tend to churn through them a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so first thing in the morning, you're waking up. You've just moved to the new post. You haven't flown any missions. So for the first time in weeks, you've had a proper night's sleep. All of those terrible things that you described about your friends dying, all occurred in the last post, which you'll eventually want to sort out. Not Engels. Where were you? Where was number 2? It's Rostov on the Don, isn't it? Is it Rostov? Trudgornyaka. So the last one was, the last theatre was, it encompassed the western gateway to the Caucasus, birch forest, marshes, fertile agricultural land. Most of this has been abandoned. The cultivated fields will make useful landmarks from the air. A major southwest-northwest rail from the Donetsk through to Lunsk to Staroblisk is on the river. Oh, you're on the Donetsk River. That's right. You're parked right next to the big river. However, that was in June and August of 1942. So the Germans were still pushing the Russian armies back. So that was your last post. You are now post all of that. Successful Russian assaults. Now the Germans have pushed back, but they are definitely not holding the line. So the first question is, what's cooking? So for the first time you have a hot meal. There's probably actual bacon for the first time in months. It's beautiful. It's sunny. You wake up. Ludmilla, what's the first thing you do in the morning, Ludmilla?
The first thing that I do in the morning is I go and check over my plane. Make sure it's still all good.
Because it's being assembled.
Yes.
Because the other thing is these are almost like kit planes, so they can be pulled
Yeah,
apart.
they get put in boxes and shipped around.
Shipped around. So what? All right. So the engineers are there. Repairing the plane, fixing it. You see one of the engineers. They're putting, the wings on and sort of screwing it all back together. What are you paying particular attention to? What are you interested about?
I think I'm paying particular attention to who is actually messing with my plane, like which engineers are working on my plane.
Okay.
Sticking it together. I want to get an idea, because I have a pretty good idea of how to, repair planes and all that sort of stuff. I've been doing that for a bit now. So I'm a bit wary of whether they have enough experience.
Okay. Okay. Well, can I get you to make a eyeball roll for me, please? So
sure.
So
Yeah,
you need to. So you're basically sizing them up, all the situation. It's 2d6 plus your skill.
Yes. Okay. And my skill is +2. So let's see. Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to feel very different to the last session. All right. So that allows you to either hold one question. On a 10 plus, hold 2. On a 9 plus, hold 1. If you spend a hold, so basically you've got 2 points to put aside. Mm-hmm. One of those, you can spend it to hold, to ask questions. And when you ask the question, you then get a +1 forward, which means you've got 1 point saved up for a good roll later on.
Right. Okay.
So you're looking over what they're doing and making sure they're doing a good job of putting the plane together for the mission tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. They're mostly doing a good job, but you're able to see that some of the engineers are less experienced than others and might not be doing the best possible job of, fixing the electrics on the plane. Do you want to intervene and get them to, correct that mistake, or do you want to leave it untouched?
No, I want to intervene.
Okay. So what you've done with that is you've established that you have a +1 on a future role involving the sort of use of the plane. Not against something like flak fire, but something that actually
No, but yeah.
requires you to be in
Like,
charge.
Yeah.
And you've got 1 extra hold, so you can ask another question, or you can save it to use it later. You don't have to use it straight away.
I think I'm going to save it for now.
Okay. All right. So she looks at you. Her name is Alexandretta. And Alexandretta is sort of offended by this interference in her work. Comrade Ludmilla. Now, you're actually the senior lieutenant, though, aren't you?
I am the senior lieutenant. Yes.
So you're actually reasonably senior now.
Yeah.
They're not. So she sort of gruffs up and says, Comrade Senior Lieutenant Ludmilla, what can I do for you?
What's her name again? Did you say? Sorry, it was
Alexandretta.
Alexandretta. Comrade Alexandretta, I think you should take a closer look at how you're wiring these planes. They're very important for the war effort.
Yes. Of course, comrade. I will examine them now. And she goes back. Initially, she doesn't seem to be following your directions, though. Like, she's sort of paid, she's agreed verbally to do something, and then she's not actually doing it. What's your response to that?
Comrade, you understand that not following the directions could make you suspect for anti-Russian thought.
Wrecking is the term.
Wrecking, yes.
That's what wreckers are. They're people who are, malingerers, who,
Yeah.
aren't fully involved, aren't fully supportive of the great patriotic war effort. So are you going to accuse her of, you're going to suggest to her that
I'm going to
be a
suggest to
wrecker?
her that she should pay more attention or be accused of wrecking.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And then she, sort of goes much harder at the problem and corrects the wiring to the, engine and the other bits of the plane. So that's you. You're over at the planes. Valentina,
Yeah.
It's a beautiful morning. It's sunny. The light is filtering in. You look across the tent, though, at the bunk where your friend used to sleep every night, and once again are reminded how angry you are about everything around you, and in particular, the fact that they've seen fit to put some junior, wet behind the ears young girl who doesn't know anything about anything, sleeping in the bunk. What do you do, Valentina?
I get it really noisily.
Right. So you're,
because it's pissing me off that she's asleep still.
Right. Okay. So you're banging around the tent.
Yeah.
She young Zara, who, by the way, is either your navigator or your pilot, depending on what Ludmilla decides. But anyway, you don't have to like them. Young Zara sort of wakes up groggily because she's probably been, there's a still in every placement. She sort of blinks her eyes open and looks at you. What is it, Valentina? Why are you awake?
Get up. It's morning. We need to go and check the planes.
It's morning? It feels like it's barely... Oh, no. Oh, okay. And she sort of gets up. I mean, she's quite beautiful as well. So she looks nothing like you, right? So she offends you on every level. She's young. She's inexperienced. She's beautiful. She's gotten here by luck. Couldn't find a way out of a brown paper bag. Nothing like your friend. By the way, what was the name of your friend? You can choose the name from your character sheet if you want.
Yeah, I will. I'm just going to pull that up. So Vera.
Vera.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's nothing like Vera. Okay, she groggily gets up. Are you sort of going to wait for her to get her shit together, or are you just going to go over to the plains and then yell at her when she turns up eventually?
Yeah, pretty much that.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, you can see.
I stalk out.
You can see the senior lieutenant is already, upbraiding some junior engineer around their plane, pointing things out, and the junior engineer is looking terrified of Senior Lieutenant Ludmilla in the corner. You also see, actually, there was a name. Hold on. You also see the deputy politruk, Sveta Shermaneva. Now, a politruk is like a junior commissar. So, responsible for the right thinking in the unit, and has been hanging around wherever you are quite a bit recently, glancing at you and paying a lot of attention to you. She always seems to appear wherever you are, like just, sort of, you'll sort of be talking to someone about something, and then you'll notice that she's just within hearing range. So Svetlana or Sveta is always nearby. So what are you going to actually do? Are you actually going over to the plains? Do you want to?
Yes, I'm going to check out my plane.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that'll be the same move. So if you want to just sort of get a general feel for how the plane's going, then can I ask you to make a 2d6 roll plus your skill?
Yes. So what is my skill? 1. Okay. So
now, do you have regard for your plane? Were you the person who had regard?
I have regard for my plane.
So you can add a +1 for the regard if you would like.
Yeah, I will. Okay. So that's 7.
Okay, so that means you get to ask one question. You don't have to ask, or I guess you're asking the same thing, which is, how's my plane? Or
is the engine looking? I'm checking the engine to make sure it's in good working order.
Okay. So you have a look at the engine. It appears to be in fine working order, actually. Yes. Okay, cool. Yep, you just get it. Okay, good. So regard just gets added to anything that you want that's related to that thing. So look, so do you want to offer to help? Do you want to just check the engine out? What do you want to do?
Basically, I wanted to give my plane a once over and then head to the mess to have breakfast and maybe start to get to know some of the people in my new posting.
Okay. And are you doing that before Zara even gets out of bed? Like, have you disappeared from the plane?
As soon as I saw her moving, I left the tent.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of going to wait for her to come up and then be like, took your time. I've already done everything. And then stalk off to go and get breakfast and leave her hanging.
Okay. So she's sort of standing there. She comes out of the tent. She's dressed lackadaskily, so she's not really wearing her uniform appropriately. She doesn't have all the buttons done up in all the right ways. She's very cash. She sort of stalks across. When she sees Sveta, she sort of, glances at her with one eye half closed. Sveta politely waves. I mean, Zara is beautiful. And then she sort of stumbles up to the plane. And at this point, what do you say to her?
Like, glad you could make it. I've checked everything. The plane is fine for tonight. And
then you
just stalk off.
Stalk off. Okay. Leaving her sort of standing there, not quite sure what she should do because you don't give her any directions.
No.
And then you just sort of stalk off towards the mess tent. After probably a couple of seconds of standing there, she realizes she doesn't actually have anything to do and sort of hurriedly tries to catch up with you on your way to the mess tent. She's a little bit like a puppy. She's
Yeah.
desperately trying to...
And I'm just trying to kick her.
Yeah, you're the bastard who kicks the puppy. When it
Lovely.
tries to run up to you. Yeah, that's... All right, so you, obviously, Ludmilla, you see this interaction from where you're standing, directing Alexandretta to do her business. Nika, you have
Yes.
also woken up. It's a beautiful sunny morning. You know, you're in the tent. Where do you go?
All right. Well, I get up and put my boots on, I suppose. Prod my co-navigator pilot, who's Anna Navratov.
Okay.
Okay. Going out for my chitsa. In other words, I'm going out for a piss.
Okay.
And I walk past my plane. I mean, the only thing there's nothing I can do about these shoddy mechanics. I basically live on my luck up in the air. So, but if that particular team is dealing with it, that dealt with my friend's aircraft, then I will probably rise up, have a go at them. But right now, I'm just going off to check out any opportunities that might be there for to provide more resources for our little group.
Okay. So, you're...
Stuff my revolver in my holster.
So
and
the
go for a walk.
engineering team that your friend's plane was under are probably not your engineering team.
Yeah, but
so-
occasionally they try to sub him and things like that, which is not good. But anyway, that's all good.
Right. Okay. Yep. So
I just walk past and look at them and go and keep moving.
so which out of either Ludmilla or Valentina, which plane is being serviced by the engineers that you despise?
Probably Ludmilla.
Ludmilla. Yeah. Okay. So yep. So the commander has got these very ordinary engineers. You're satisfied. You're actually satisfied to see Ludmilla standing over the top of one of the junior engineers, yelling
berating
at them. Berating them.
Excellent.
And it's like, so it's not just you, right? Like completely validated by this experience.
Excellent.
Even Ludmilla is, after your constant telling Ludmilla that, these guys are hopeless and we need to get rid of these women and get new women in to fix this plane. You feel like maybe you're getting some traction there.
Excellent. I give a rare smirk and hustle on.
Right. Do you direct that smirk at Ludmilla or the head of the engineering crew?
The head of the engineering crew.
Right. She, I should say, just looks at you and grunts. Because this is an all-women unit, right? So the 588th is the only all-women unit. So there's two other units. There's the 586th and the 580. Actually, I don't think it is the 587th.
588.
Your 588. Their 586 is the Yak pilots, and I'm pretty sure the Dobesky 2s, the actual bombers, is 587. But either way, you smirk at her. She just grunts at you because the hatred is particularly shared. She tried. She feels she tried to reach out to you, when it first happened, but you've just slapped her away every time.
What can she offer? They failed.
They failed. Exactly. That's all there is to know. Do you? So you can make so you're basically trying to find additional goodness for the planes. Are you thinking?
Well, and the pilots generally.
Of the pilots, right? Yeah. Okay, all right. So, are you trying to scrounge good quality food or something they can take on the flights? Because actually, I think
something warm to take on the flight is going to be a good thing.
All right. So you're going to
hit extra energy.
You're going to hit up the commissariat.
Yep.
And try and get something put in a container that's warm and filling.
Yeah.
Okay, so
scrounge.
you make a scrounge roll, and you're doing it through, backhanders.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm doing a luck roll. So how does this work again?
So 2d6 plus your luck.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the difference is that because you're a misanthrope, we'll get there.
All right. Well, all up it's 10.
Oh, okay. You guys are doing too well.
I've got 3 luck and I rolled a 7. So
yeah. So there's a common comment about PBTA, which is the best roll is 7 to 9, because that's the thing that moves, that gives you things that you have to react to.
yeah.
But on a 10, you get a hit and you add 1 to the mission roll. To the mission pool. So what that literally means is there's a +1 forward in the mission pool that anyone can use at any point during the mission.
Okay.
So to navigate or to avoid flak fire or even to land. Or
So
to
I can
bomb.
see why you have to do a daytime before
Yeah.
your night.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's vital.
Absolutely.
Really vital.
Excellent. All right.
All right. So
That's good.
So the commissariat is run by Yavenga. I can't even begin. Anyway, it'll do. Yavenga. And she knows you. You know her. She does ask, "What are you going to bring her next time?" So what's the deal that you're going to offer?
Well, what does she need? She need raw materials like flour and things like that. And
well, yeah, if you can talk
spices.
to your friend back at the, at the 4th Logistics Command.
Yeah.
And get him to provide some extra flour and actually some eggs.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen a real egg in 3 months.
Okay.
So
see what I can do, Yavanga.
Yep. So please get me some eggs. Okay.
All right.
So you've got your you're all sitting down to breakfast. It's it's a beautiful day. You're feeling pretty lucky. There's nothing really left to do. You're all assumedly sitting together unless you choose not to. Does anyone choose not to sit with anyone else?
I'll sit with everybody.
Yeah.
No, we're all good.
All right. So you're all having breakfast. Where are you? So you've got sort of containers and food ready. You've also checked over your planes. What sort of chores are you doing through the day?
Oh, there's always washing and cleaning and
Yep.
dishes and yeah.
Okay. And how much sleep are you trying to get before the mission? Because it's an all-nighter. You're used to sleeping during the sort of second half or the first half of the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in the afternoon. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a bit of a walk and try to lose my puppy.
Okay.
Go off for a smoke by myself. Repair my uniform.
Okay, so you're sort of sewing up some holes in it, that sort of thing.
And and then have a sleep through the afternoon, from about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
It's time to do some washing as well and hang it out. That way you've got something to come back to.
I have no words. Okay, so you do that. What about you, Ludmilla? What are you doing through the day?
I think dish duty. Gonna help clean some dishes.
Right.
Yeah.
Still
gonna do stuff. But I am also gonna get a good amount of sleep in.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we'll sort of move on because it is the one shot and we wanted to have a bit of a go at this. So there we are. So we're at duty station 3. So a couple of things. Pashkovskaya is quite close to the city of Krasnodar, which is the linchpin in the German plans for seizing the Caucasus. Hold on. Yep. Expect many of your missions to be flying very close. So the supply situation is adequate, with rail lines serving the city of Krasnodar and the trucks available. Adequate supplies means you get +0 to all rolls. So a couple of really quick questions, and then we'll do a nighttime run. So, and I'll direct them individually. So one for each of you, and then you can sort of answer the question. What completely unreasonable demand has been made on the regiment, Ludmilla?
Completely unreasonable demand.
Yep.
I think that what's her name? The puppy?
Sveta. No,
Sveta.
not Sveta. No, hold on.
No.
That's the
Yeah.
NKVD Politruc. Zara.
Yeah. Zara, I think, doesn't quite understand how this whole thing works, and she has made a request for makeup supplies.
Okay, but why is that a problem for the regiment?
Because she's showing a lack of respect for our resources.
Yeah, but why do you have to even bother to fulfill them? Is she connected in some way? Is she politically powerful? Like, you could just say you're not having makeup.
I think she's... Yeah, no, I think she's got some sort of connection to someone a bit higher up than me.
Right.
And so I have to do what she wants.
Okay.
But it's really frustrating.
Okay, so I'm going to just basically... So even though, of course, it is completely unacceptable and not appropriate, you're pretty certain that she has been sleeping with Sveta.
Yep.
And so Sveta has been, you know, so now you've got the eye of Sveta on everything, and Zara seems to sort of be able to get a lot of stuff through, and you don't know if she's sleeping with Sveta, like you don't have proof, but
yeah.
But you can't afford to piss her off on the assumption that that'll piss off Sveta.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the thing. So you have now got the dubious honor of trying to get makeup. How are you getting makeup? Are you tapping the shoulder of the only competent scrounger in the group?
Yeah.
Or are you doing it through official channels?
Oh, I don't want to put this through official channels. I think I'm going to tap Nika on the shoulder for this.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, tap Nika on the shoulder.
Yeah, okay. Nika. Oh, you're a lieutenant. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Nika, I need you to hunt down some makeup supplies. I know.
There's a bit of swearing in Russian, which translates to, what the hell do you want makeup for? What is this?
Just do
Where
it.
am I going to get makeup?
That is for you to figure out.
You know how many women I've seen around in our regiment that wear makeup? Oh, there's one. There's one. It's for her, isn't it?
Puppy.
Yes. Yes,
Oh.
Lieutenant Nick.
I see what I can do.
Thank you.
All right.
So what
are you
what
gonna
do we
do?
get out of it? I have debts to pay around the place. What benefit is there for us? For me?
I can pay you. Or I can trade you.
You can trade me. We'll see. I'll see what I can find. And then we come back to this.
Thank you,
Okay.
Lieutenant.
So are you going to... Okay, So
Am I going to actually source real lipstick, or am I going to find some substitute and put it in a lipstick dispenser that might cause a rash?
it's completely up to you.
Yeah.
But actually, to be fair, finding the lipstick dispenser won't be easy.
I know,
Yeah.
that's right. I think it's going to be a matter of just finding a little container, I don't know, almost like an anoids container thing with stuff in it. And go, there your lipstick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't choose too much.
Are you so what are you actually going to do to try and acquire this lipstick? And are you going to try and get any assistance from Ludmilla? Do you want to try and get Valentina to help you get lipstick or other makeup?
Well, realistically, how hard is it going to be to get lipstick?
In the base, pretty freaking hard.
Yeah. So I think I am going to plan B of working out some way of making it out of, I don't know, candle wax and aviation fuel and a bit
So
of
some
color of
petroleum?
some sort. Yeah.
Some sort of petroleum jelly.
Yeah, with some wax and whatever I can find for the color.
Okay, so you get candle wax, aviation fuel,
Yeah.
and maybe, I don't know, where would you get the color from? We might have to check in with the only dyer we know. Where can
Yeah,
you
well,
get
the
the
thing
color
is,
from?
natural
Dyer?
plants. That's right.
Yeah.
Red's tricky.
Uh,
Red's usually.
no, there's probably bead straw around because it's a really common weed.
Mm,
And the roots of that will give you red in the right circumstances.
and I'll find some lavender or something like that to scent it with.
Okay. So you're actually spending half the day collecting flowers, in effect.
It seems so.
All right. So can I get you to make
Another scrounge roll.
No, I think it's well, actually I'll leave it up to you. It could be it could definitely be a scrounge roll. Actually, that's a fair point. It is a scrounge roll. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I still have to put it together. So the plan, the actual scrounging probably isn't too much of a challenge because, well, I've probably scrounged
But it's
enough
the
on
whole
this
thing,
base.
right? Because
It's
the
putting it all
scrounging
together
takes
as to a sensible thing.
Yeah.
So what are my options actually?
So you could make an eyeball sort of roll to sort of do it, but it does feel like a scrounge roll, right? So you're basically because it's that whole thing of not only collecting the things but also
finding the containers and mixing it all together.
Yeah.
So
okay,
that's cool.
2d6 roll plus luck. How good are you? How good are you at making?
Well, let's see. Here it goes. Ooh, that's a 9 on the dice plus the 3 luck.
Okay, so
we're warming it on the engine to melt the wax and yeah.
Okay, so but rather than it being +1 to the mission roll, right? So first of all, you'll get it. What that gives you is a +1 hold, which you can use against sort of the Politruk investigating or doing something.
Okay.
Because you've basically gone off and found her girlfriend / puppy. You know, this
and
stuff.
Shifted favor.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
So you guys have made this. Now, so later that afternoon, you're all sort of waking up. It's time for the briefing and the planning. So what we do is we go to the theater moves, and if I can get it to open, station 3, you've got your oh, by the way, I missed this. Okay, 6 months have passed from the hastily converted civilian airfield here in Pashkovskaya. You are supporting the Black Sea Fleet in the battle for the Caucasus. The Germans are pushing hard, but you are pushing harder. You're sharing the field with the celebrated and all-male 218th Fighter Regiment, who have requisitioned everything of utility or value, leaving you with the scraps. Sorry, I missed that. We'll go back to them at some point. I'm sure you'll have things to do with them. So you have 6 missions to choose from. And I'll just see if I can scroll. So here are the missions now, down the side here, if you have a look. You've got the harassment of German positions near Kermatov. Oh, I'm really going to have to practice my Russian pronunciation. Zavod, there you go, Zavod Rail Junction. Expect searchlights and flat car mounted anti-aircraft guns. The bombing of a German supply depot near the front lines at Krasnodar. Expect enemy combat air patrols. Attacking your own airfield. Hastily evacuated, now being overrun by the enemy. German troops are on the ground and preparing to land aircraft, which would be a disaster. The 7 to 9 consequence when wayfinding this mission is always enemy fire. Anyone participating advances. So basically pushing the Germans back. The bombing of the Krimskaya fuel dump and rail yards near the city of Novorossiysk on the Black Sea. A low altitude attack on this target is suicidal, so precision will be required. Burning fuel will illuminate you against the night sky as you depart. Bombing the heavily defended village of Taman behind the dreaded blue line. Expect enemy aircraft artillery unless you're coming over the sea. Itself a dangerous proposition. Or F, conduct a daylight supply drop on the Mayalia Zemlya beachhead near Novorossiysk, tenuously held by the Soviet naval infantry. No wayfinding roll is necessary. To reach this target, all planes will first have to endure enemy fire. Anyone participating advances. We don't need to find our way. No, and they can fucking see us. That's why we don't fly in the dark. All right, so that's why we fly in the dark. So your question, Jason, your first question is, which of these missions, feels like the right mission?
I think we're going to do D.
D.
Bombing
the
Krimskaya
Krimskaya fuel dump and rail yards near the city of Novorossiysk.
Yes.
All right. So just so it's clear, you should be able to. Can you see my little?
Oh yeah.
Icon?
Yeah.
That's it there.
Yep.
You're here.
Mhm.
That's it there.
Yep.
On the Red Sea. That's probably the beachhead that they were referring to.
Mhm.
Okay. So a low altitude attack on the target is suicidal, so precision is required. Burning fuel will illuminate you as you depart. These do not sound like good things.
No.
No. Okay, so the first thing is you will need to make first thing is you need to decide
People's positions.
So you have 3 planes.
Yes.
You have
The
your own
Vetemaya,
plane,
Wayfinder attack.
which I think has I've written Natasha down as your pilot, as your co-person.
Cool.
Are you going to be the pilot or the navigator?
I'm the navigator.
Okay. So Ludmilla is the navigator, and you are, and Natasha is the pilot.
Mhm.
And that's important because the pilot makes the roll for the attack run, and the navigator makes the roll for the wayfinding.
Yes.
Okay. So between Valentina and Zara.
I think yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Valentina is going to be the pilot and Zara will be her navigator.
Okay.
Do you use a particular skill for either of these?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll just throw up the moves again. Sorry. Let me find the moves wherever they are hiding.
Oh,
Skill or guts?
There we go.
Okay. So Vetemaya. So when you're wayfinding, it's plus skill. When your attack run is on, it's plus guts.
Oh, okay.
And when you're dodging enemy fire, it's plus luck.
Okay.
And when you're trying to land the plane, it's plus skill again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I have that wheels down thing.
Right.
Nice.
Oh, is that from your
Being an
You're an
adventurer.
adventurer. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're the pilot, so that works well.
Yeah.
And on that last
Nice.
point, Anna and Nika.
Anna and Nika. I think I'm gonna make Nika the pilot as well, and Anna as the navigator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So and
I'm gonna put Nika as the Vetemaya for the run. And
okay.
Valentina's plane is going to be the lead attack run plane.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That
Good. I've
suits
got
me.
guts, so that's good.
I'm an owl. I watch.
And so you're going to be the wayfinder.
And so I'm going to be the wayfinder. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the way this works is, all right. So you're flying along the sort of coastline because that's the easiest way to find the bombing location. You're not actually flying over open water, but you're right next to it. It's obviously dark. You can see in the distance your target, or at least you hope it's your target. So could you please roll a skill roll for me, please?
Yes, I can. Okay. My roll skill. I have +2 to skill.
And don't forget there's a plus.
Yeah, that is a 10 + 2, so that's 12.
You're on fire.
Figuratively speaking, that is.
on a 10 or better, you make a textbook approach. You suffer no consequences. All right, so
find it and we line up.
So describe to me what you see as you're coming in.
It's nighttime, but they've got like lanterns lit in the. Sorry, where are we again? It's a fuel.
Yep, it's the Kimskaya fuel dump and rail yard.
Yeah, so they've got lanterns lit up around the place so that they can see what they're doing as they move around.
Right. The fools.
Yeah.
That was their first mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So as we come in, I think we're coming straight in, but we can see them illuminated by these little dots of light.
Right.
That are kind of telling us where we're meant to be dropping the bombs.
Yes. Because it was all about precision.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, an attack run. So that's Valentina. So Valentina, you're coming in hard, but you're flying high.
Oh, real good. Oh, for fuck's sake. So that would be 6, I think.
So these things are a noisy sewing machine engine.
Yeah.
How it's been described.
I'll send you the link to the YouTube video of one flying. It's kind of cool.
Yep. I did see one actually.
They literally do go as they go past you. What did you get, Valentina?
I rolled 5 and I've got 1 for guts, so that's 6.
Okay.
And then
you can add.
Do I get anything for my plane?
Well, you can draw from the mission pool.
Yeah.
And you also have regard for your plane.
Yeah, I have regard for my plane.
Or you can use regard for your plane. You don't have to use the mission pool then.
Yeah.
That gets you to 7, and
That
8
gets
isn't
me
going
to
to
7.
give you anything benefit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for the good news. We finally get a partial success, which means we get the actual PBTA effect. Okay. All right. So you're coming in. You're flying high. You drop the bombs. Okay. So now what you have to do is you have to choose 2 of the following consequences.
Oh.
So damage to the target is not significant and it's your fault. You fly through a storm of flak, triggering enemy fire. A plane in your section is damaged, the GM's choice. You and your fellow airwomen are marked. Airwoman, sorry. So that's you and Zara in this case.
Okay, I'm gonna go for you and your fellow airwoman are marked.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go for the damage to the target is not significant and it's my fault.
Oh, you fluffed it.
I fluffed it.
You've completely fluffed it. Okay, now I will
landed
make
on
the
the
point
edge.
that as the leader has made the attack run and it hasn't been unsuccessful, one thing you can do, Nika, you can actually take on that marking if you want, because you have a hold
Okay.
that you can spend as the Vetemire, but you can also launch your own attack run.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to run my own attack run.
Okay. So you get a +1 because Valentina has kind of lit up the target, even if she's missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of I hit the edge of the fuel depot, but not close enough to actually ignite things.
Right.
Yep.
So, yep.
All right. So what do we need?
2d6 plus guts.
Guts. Excellent. Guts is my weakest.
Good thing you got a +1 then.
Well, I rolled an 8.
Well, it's better than me
+1
to
is a
start
9.
with.
Yeah.
And have you got gut 0?
I have gut 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
One question. Do you have regard for your plane?
I do. I respect my plane, which its name is Gypsy Curse.
Gypsy Curse. Okay.
Right. So yes, can I use the 1 point from that? Can I?
Yep.
All right. So what
So
is
that
that?
takes you to 10.
Nice.
On a 10 plus, your payload connects.
Woohoo!
So having watched Valentina completely stuff the attack run up, but beautifully illuminating the target, what do you do? What do you see?
Well, I see flames near the reservoir, illuminating everything. I can see people running around and flashes of ground-based machine gun fire as troops are starting to open up. And I fly in, and Navigator drops the bombs.
Okay. And does
Everything
a decent job.
Boom!
So you see the Kamenskaya fuel dump explode in a giant ball of fire and light.
Everything shakes in the aircraft as things rattle and strain.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna ask each of you, because you're now illuminated, right? So you're flying away, but you're lit up by the exploding wash of flame. I need each of you to make a enemy fire roll for me, please.
Oh boy.
Oh, good.
So it's flak, but you get your luck.
Yeah.
And my luck is 7.
Holy shit. 12.
My luck
Okay,
is
so
minus
you're
1.
fine.
I'm rolling 9s. That's great.
Oh, you
Ah!
were doing so good because my roll's
No!
been really low.
I rolled a 7, but I have minus 1.
Do you want to use that +1 in the mission pool?
Oh yeah.
Actually, do you want to use the
I want to use
+1
my
that you
+1
saved
that
up?
I've got from my plane, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no luck. Okay.
Wow.
So hold on, Jason. Don't forget you had a +1 from when you did
Yeah,
your.
from when I did the question. I've got that right here.
So using
I'm going
that.
to use that. I'm using that.
Okay, so you're at a 7.
Yep.
Okay, so you thank the gods that you got, all of that electrical equipment reconnected properly, because
Yeah.
you press down on the throttle and accelerate the plane down to get maximum speed away. Even though it exposes you to deeper levels of fire, it takes you out of the range. Also, don't forget you've got your moves associated with your actual playbooks too, because I can't see those. So
yes, I know.
don't forget they can be used in some
I
of these
feel like I
circumstances.
might be using one of those tomorrow, but
Right. Okay. What 2 consequences are you taking, Jason?
yes, which 2 consequences am I taking? I think yeah, let's see. I think the plane is damaged.
Okay. Which
So
means wheels down.
down like yep. That'll be fun. And I also think I think there are casualties on board.
Oh, okay. So
5
you can
harm
split
between
it
me and
however
my
you
other
like.
person. Yeah.
So you've only got 3 harm.
Yes. I think I am going to take 2 harm.
Oh no. How soon? Sorry, Natasha. It was real.
It was real, Natasha.
So you've taken
Real.
all this fire. Describe what's happened.
So as I've kind of pushed down the throttle, we're speeding our way out of there, but we're brightly illuminated, and doing this, our engine's lit up too, so our plane is bright and we're flying low so they can hit us easily. And I just don't time it right.
And what
They come
happens?
in and they pierce through the wings of one side of the plane
Right.
with a bullet fire, which is very easy to do given the canvas. And it shoots and it hits me and Natasha as well as we fly past.
Okay. Natasha lolls in the pilot. Hold on, she's your pilot.
Oh shit, she is my pilot.
We're going for a ride.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I forgot.
Yet.
What do? Do you pull her? Do you pull her out of the plane to get access to the stick?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
gotta-
she's lolling in the plane. Maybe she's alive, maybe she's dead, but she's unconscious either way.
Yeah.
And you just hold on. Actually, I should check. Maybe you've got a stick on your side.
Do I have a stick,
I'm
please?
just
Well, it
gonna-
is actually a training, like these things were training aircraft originally and crop dusters. So
Right.
there's a good chance you've actually got a stick.
That is true. I'm looking for the picture of the.
It all
plane.
depends, I suspect, on whether they salvaged it for parts for other planes that didn't have sticks.
Hold on. I will need to. I think it's actually in the handout. So let me just go to the handouts.
Because most trainers will have the person learning in the front and the pilot at the back.
That's true.
Mm.
Oh, I can't find a picture of the plane. Oh, there's a picture of the plane, but that's not the picture I meant. I think it was in the. Oh, it's in the structured. It's in the. It is. No, it's not there. Okay. Hold on. I might. I know it's in the map. I know it's in. Oh, there it is. Literally just went past it. Structural. Plane stats. Wing. PowerPoint. Come on, there's actually a picture of that somewhere. Has anyone else got the picture?
No, I'm just looking online on Wikipedia and things.
I know it's in the main rules.
Okay.
Mm.
Just a moment while we try and find the ruddy picture.
Air-cooled 5-cylinder.
It's not in the handouts.
I gotta say, seeing as though it was designed to be a trainer, I would,
All right,
unless you've
yep,
got
I'll
some
let it-
reason
I'll
why
let
it's
it-
been
I'll let it-
removed,
all right,
it
yep,
should
yep,
be
yep.
there.
Okay, so you have a stick.
Okay, good. So I
See.
can fly.
You can fly.
Yeah.
You don't have to pull her out. Maybe she can be saved. Maybe not.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, now, Jess. Sorry, Valentina.
Valentina rolled a 6 and has got no luck. She's having a
Okay,
terrible
but there is
night
one in the
tonight.
mission pool.
Yeah, so I take that one.
Okay, which gives you +1, which
So you're
means
at
you've now
7.
got a 7.
7. So yeah, my plane is also damaged, and I'm going to take casualties as well.
Oh,
So
are you? What a surprise!
I know 2 for me and 3 for Puppy in the back.
Oh no! How quickly we knew Zara. How short.
Dak?
Okay. So you take what? So what was the first one you took?
Damage to the plane.
Okay, so the same two basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
All right. So also in your plane, you see Zara take a hit. It looks pretty bad. Her beautiful face is now marked forever.
Will Speeches still love her?
No. Do you care? No.
No.
It's just what she deserved. Okay. You see Zara take a massive blast and the plane sort of unbalances for a second. You both, all three of you, are now flying back together. Now, two of you have got to make wheels down rolls because the planes are damaged. So you can roll your skill. I will point out, you can always do a tempt fate roll, but if you do it, then I get to decide what happens, and it's usually really bad. So wheels down basically means you're landing the plane under less than ideal circumstances. So can I get Ludmilla? Can you navigate this thing in?
Can I navigate this thing in? Let's see. Let's find out. Okay, come on. We got this. We got this, dice. No, what? No! No! I do not! No, I can't. I can't navigate this thing in, as it turns out.
You rolled less than 7.
I did. I rolled a 4 on the dice.
Wow. Okay.
Looks like, Anna, we got promotion coming.
Okay. So we'll come back to Ludmilla in a second. And Valentina.
Well, I've got the thing from my adventurer thing,
Good.
which says I can do wheels down well. I don't know. Does that mean I just
It means
get to roll?
instead of 2 consequences, you choose 1 if you roll between a 7 and a 9.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I still have to roll and skill. Okay, I've got 1 skill. Oh, thank crap for that 12.
Okay. So bravely and somewhat gloatingly, as you come in, do you do anything? Do you, do a little wing flutter or say something to the now unconscious Zara?
Yes, I'm going to make a snarky comment to her unconscious form saying, basically, you screwed up my night because it was your poor navigation that made me miss the target. At least I can bring this bloody plane down.
That's beautiful. So even as
Love
she's
it.
bleeding out in your thing, you're still swearing at her.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're not a nice person, Valentina. I'm just calling that as I say it. All right. So you're flying in now, an unconscious Zara beside you. Natasha and Ludmilla, you're both badly injured. Your plane is damaged. You're coming in. You see one of those beautiful fighters from the 218th. I think it was the 218th. Let me just double check that. Oh, why doesn't it give me that? It doesn't tell me that. I thought it was the 218th. Anyway, the fighters, the beautiful fighter pilots, has just landed just as you're trying to land. And the last thing you see before the planes smash into each other is the pilot of the other plane swearing at you in Russian as your plane smashes into his, ripping the wings off the plane, tearing his plane asunder. Somehow your plane sort of crashes off to one side and skates down the side of the airfield and comes to a crunching halt in a building. You yourself are badly injured. You don't know what's happened to Natasha. You don't know if she's made it, but you're pretty sure, even as you sort of fall into unconsciousness and you hear the 218th emergency crews racing across the field, that you've done something terrible to that Yak fighter and the Yak fighter pilots who are in it. And that'll be the consequence that we'll have to work through tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So you do survive, but there's bad things on the horizon. So there's you basically now all need to sort of recoup and recover. So Nika, you're the only one of the crew who's fully conscious. Well, you and Anna. So what story are you sharing as the only person who can really give a debrief at this point?
And
I would like to point you at your moves, if I may.
Am I what? Sorry, my
at your
moves.
You might want to have a quick squiz at your moves.
Moves. Moves. Where am I? There I am. Moves. Da, 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 da.
In particular, I don't know if you've got it, but I will point out that political thought.
Yeah, I do actually have political thought.
Well, you have been trying to throw those other engineers under a bus.
That's true. That's true. And I did actually look up what Article 58, and it's actually part of the Russian Penal Code.
It is. That's correct. For wreckers and counter-revolutionaries.
All right. So what I'm going to say is that from what I understand, what I can see, when Valentina went in to release her bombs, the bomb release was not working properly.
Nice.
and stuck, which meant that there was a 5-second delay before release actually had happened.
Right. So you're actually shifting blame away from Valentina.
Absolutely.
Right. Nice. And
So-
apportioning it to her crew. I will point out that's not Ludmilla's crew. You actually hate.
That's all right. I actually my regard is actually resent and distrust mechanics.
Oh, you just basically think they're all shit.
They're all out to ruin us.
Yeah. Yep. So yes, I'll be saying that the bomb release was slow. It didn't release, unlike the other plane that I was flying.
Okay.
So Valentina was actually on target and had a good line. It's just that there wasn't a release properly, and in the end, it flared up on the depot, which I then continued my run.
Can I get you to make a reach out roll for me, please? Which
Sure.
requires you to roll a. It's actually not normally with a bonus, but I think you get. Why do I think you get a +1? I think you get a +1, but why?
Got to do with my medals.
No, oh, you can do that actually. You can actually pull your medals out. It's actually an option. You can try and basically pull rank, but hold on.
Oh, okay.
No, you make an eyeball roll. Oh, okay. All right. So it's a skill roll.
Oh, okay. All right. So that is a 6. So I rolled a 6. I've got one skill that's 7.
Which means you can which means you can get a +1 to your reach out. So basically you found proof of this
incompetence, we'll call it.
At least you've managed. Oh, I know why I thought you got a +1, because of your guard.
Yep. So that'll be 8.
So that'll be 8. So you're going to do a reach out roll. Who are you telling this to? Are you telling it to the politruk, or are you telling it to the commander of the unit, who is, by the way, the boss of the whole unit?
No, I'm telling it to the politruk.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
Because,
straight to the
because
NKVD.
her job is to root out these things as well as provide leadership, so to speak.
True. No debate. So you can make a reach out roll.
Okay.
So it's actually not a skill roll. So it doesn't have a bonus.
All right. I roll a 9.
Right.
Which is
but then
pretty
you
standard.
add +2 to it.
11.
So you can choose the following, any two of the following.
Right.
Remove 1 harm from yourself and your friend.
Yeah.
Change the target or tone of a currently filled regards slot. Add 1 to the mission pool.
Okay. So I can choose 2.
Yeah. So you can do that. You can choose true.
So I'm going to shift the blame to the mechanics.
Okay. So why don't we say that reduces the harm?
And reduce the harm.
Okay.
Well, actually, what's the... So
you can do
2.
reduce harm twice is my point.
Yeah. Yep. Let's do that.
Okay.
Shift the blame to the mechanics and reduce the harm.
Okay. So you can each Valentina and Ludmilla can get 1 harm off their harm. So you're each down from 2 to 1. I think you were both at 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically instead of the NKVD investigating you and piling on you, the terrible injuries of Zara, which has got Sveta absolutely excised, points her directly at your engineers, not at you, Valentina. So your engineers are copping it in the neck, as it were. Do you accept that, Valentina?
Good point. I'm spitting and cursing at them.
Like you sort of wake up halfway through the day, you're badly
Yeah.
bruised and injured, but you're waking up, it's the next day. What do you find out that Sveta's had the entire engineering crew in sort of interrogation for the whole morning. Oh, you look across at the other bunk. There's no sign of Zara.
No, I should be in the hospital for sure.
Yeah.
I know that it was actually Zara's fault. Like,
you absolutely know it was Zara's fault. Yeah,
I absolutely know it was Zara's fault. There was nothing wrong with the thing. She let the bombs loose too late.
Right.
I was shouting at her, and
she just wasn't doing a job. She was
No.
paralyzed. She was, frozen.
Yeah.
Because someone
Frozen,
was shouting
just
at
didn't
her,
do
maybe, or maybe because she's incompetent. Who knows?
But I
Lipstick
also
on a pig.
know that convincing Sveta of that's going to be almost impossible.
Yeah, that's correct.
He's never going to hear that. So I keep my trap shut because I'm already under suspicion.
Okay, and you're not a protector, are you? So you don't really...
No, I'm an adventurer.
That's right. Yep.
I live to
Okay,
fly.
so you let the lie live.
Yeah.
Who really was responsible for that late bombing run? I love the way the blame just gets moved around. It finds a place where it can't be dislodged from.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And
shit sticks in the deepest cracks.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my god.
I just made that up. That's a good saying. Okay.
I'm proud of myself. Okay, so we might stop it there. It's about 2:10. It's a good point to sort of stop it. All right. So what did you think?
That's good.
That is very good.
It was so easy to kind of find your role and just slip into it and be like, oh yeah, I know what this character's up to.
It's a really fast system.
Yeah.
Like in the sense that it takes no time to learn the rules.
Mm.
And you make up a character really quickly, and the character, because of the way the playbooks work, to your point, Jess, you've got a story.
Yeah.
The story comes very quickly. And I think the natures and the roles work really well, particularly the natures. I think the natures really set characters up super well. What do you think, Jason? I already know you're a fan, but
yeah, I love this game.
It's so, so we'll stop it there. But if you guys wanted to play more, I'm very happy to play more of this. It's a freaking awesome system. I love it. And so basically every day, and you can see what the whole thing behind PBTA is, this story about half successes being the narrative engine.
Yeah.
So when you get a perfect success, nothing really happens.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
Right?
good.
Mm.
Like, it's like, oh, I successfully do my thing. And then you get, you describe your thing and then that's it. But partial successes are what drives all of the